honestly, the doctor said it's not like fatal or anything, but you should definitely get yourself tested. So after the show. Welcome to Deplorables with Attitude. I'm your host, Ben, with the lovely Sarah. Sarah's father is Pablo Lezama of the Juarez cartel. Sarah, just because your father wasn't there when you were younger doesn't mean that you're not worth. You're worth everything. Okay,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
No, Sarah is a spiritualist, a healer, a medium.
I'm a medium,
Dabble. You
a
dabble.
high priestess. I do channel.
Channel, yes.
Yeah.
Chanel, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
Comes through my body.
Tells you about her anti-Semitism and how much
her
she loves.
Her shoes are so ugly, though. I would never wear them.
I had a fake shirt made for Deplorables with Attitude on the website deplora.com. It's Les Retard by Chanel Pour Femme.
You're not supposed to say that, but
I know, but I think it's okay.
But she said it, so it's not you.
She said a lot of bad things. Very, very naughty girl.
Was she a Nazi?
Nazi sympathizer? Very, very anti-Semitic.
You know what? Nazis did have really good fashion.
It was the lines, the angles, the sharp, like the 90
very
degrees.
well cut uniforms.
Yeah, it is kind of good if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's why like Kanye or anyone like Kanye are really into the whole kind of matter-of-fact statements about Jewish power.
It's not for the fashion.
It's not for the fashion. It's for like, it's kind of funny because if they were to place it with just like rich white people that are powerful, people are like, yeah, but he went too specific. You can't go too specific. You got to be like, generalize it. It's like, wait, like, people with like,
you can't say the Jews.
You can't say people with like brown hair. It's the same thing. It's too specific. And he literally said everything else you're allowed to say. But he said the Jews.
The Jews. He could have said people in the media are controlling the world.
He could have said people with like
Jews.
that are bad at sports. Maybe they have like wide set hips and wear funny hats. And as long as he didn't say the Jews, he would have been fine. All my friends are Jewish, and they actually are really like, they really don't like what he said. And I kind of like looked back at some of the stuff he's actually literally said. It's not like hateful. It's just very like specific. Like he's not being malicious.
What do you think? Do you think he got screwed over in some way by the Jews in the media?
I mean, again, they're not. They might be Jewish, but they just so happen. That's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence.
What's the vendetta against them?
He's going back to like a rhetoric of saying like I guess like people can target like a white patriarchy or white supremacy. That's so specific and that's allowed. But if he goes specific and says the guy that's fucking all the black artists over on the record contracts that are giving them like 5% of the deal, 2% of the deal, they are white and Jewish, that's too much.
But they fuck everyone over.
They're really good with money. That's like a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I all my friends are Jewish. They're really successful. It's like they're almost like, hey, shut up. Don't say, keep it on the DL. Like, well, everyone kind of knows, like, it's not a pejorative. It's a compliment. You're kicking ass in like banking. You're this, that, and the other. Like you run Hollywood. It's not like a conspiracy. You do. Like you Jewish people run Hollywood, and they're also white. And going down to the nitty gritty of it, they might be Orthodox. They might be Hasidic, but they're Jewish. It's okay. It's not a bad thing.
I have a friend who lives in LA who, when she moved there, she would walk down the street in the Hasidic neighborhoods and try to bump into the men on purpose because she said they can't touch women.
They have sex through a sheet.
Through a sheet?
A hole in the sheet. The Hasids do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She said if they touch a woman, they have to go like pray 100 times.
The women are bald. They wear wigs. They shave their head.
I just learned
Can you imagine
about
if I found that out about you?
My beautiful, beautiful hair.
If you were like black, that would be to be expected, right? If we slept together. But if you were just you as you are, and I had to pull your hair back because I'd like to pull it to be like, the aggressive thing that's girls like.
I don't think
but then it came off.
Orthodox Jewish woman would just be randomly fucking you.
Why is that?
They don't just fuck people.
What
you have to get married? You'd have to buy the cow.
When Obama won for president, I was in
Washington.
Washington.
Buy this cow?
when Obama won for president, I pretended to be liberal to hook up with all the girls downtown by the White House. They were like happy. I just pretended like, yeah, Obama, and just to hook up and kiss them and make out.
Did it work?
Yes. So I do the same thing. If I like targeted a Hasidic woman who's just a bombshell, just like, you know.
You wouldn't pass though. They don't mix with Gentiles.
Again, if I targeted one, I would do everything.
I think you
I'd
should
wear the
cut
little
this whole
curls.
segment out. I
You think
hate
so?
this.
It's too much? It's too much?
I don't know. I don't know.
Last weekend in my alley, there's homeless schizophrenics in my alley, and I went outside, and one of them offered me
homies.
a bite of their sandwich and a hoodie. And I realized that
the sandwich was wearing a hoodie.
No, the homeless person offered me a bite of their sandwich and a hoodie to wear because I was wearing a t-shirt. It was cold, but I realized I was dressed like I looked like a slob, and they thought I was homeless.
You were also so they take care of their own.
Yeah, but I have to step up my weekend attire a little bit. Just
I mean,
notch.
Do you remember bum fights though?
On YouTube, like people uploading them.
That was really fucked. No, homeless people really do take care of each other to a certain extent because I have been homeless before and I know this for a fact.
Is there like racial diversity in homeless like empathy, or does a black homeless person care about you as much as they might do their homies?
I'm trying to think. It might.
How many Jewish homeless people are there? There's none. That's like crazy. It's like
But they
like
take
dinosaurs.
care of their own families. I went to Greece and with all the poverty, there were no homeless people because they all just live with their mothers.
In Austin, Texas, the DA has a catch and release policy for drug crimes. So all the drug dealers that are feeding the homeless schizophrenic people and people that are homeless that have drug problems, drugs that get arrested, get their charges dropped and back on the street, and they keep doing it. So,
catch and release.
So I'm a tourist. I give someone $1. They buy themselves some drugs after accumulating a few, and then that drug dealer gets picked up every weekend by the cops and gets released, and charges are dropped.
The drug dealer.
See, they're conflating the drug problem with the drug dealer. So the dealer is the same as the drug addict.
So should
and it lies in
I
the law.
become a drug dealer? I won't get in trouble if I sell drugs to homeless people.
Well, you're yes, theoretically, but you also are really attractive and I don't know, you look like a kingpin.
Someone told me if I sold drugs, they'd rob me.
Didn't you? Do you have a story about the drugs? The horses.
I did used to sell drugs. Oh, that's a different story.
That's is at a higher level than you in your drug game. You're not really the daughter. She's not really the daughter of the Juan Pablo.
No, but I did work for the Hells Angels. That's true.
And you pushed meth.
Yeah.
And you did meth.
Yep.
But it didn't ruin the choppers. They look good.
I have beautiful teeth.
They look really, and they're not veneers. They look real.
Yeah, they're real. My mom has such beautiful teeth. Better than mine. Bigger than mine.
How long did you work for the Hells Angels?
2 years.
Trafficking?
Was I the one trafficked? I was thinking about this today because I would do crimes for them. Like
steal Sephora
steal
makeup?
Things. I would rob houses. I would rob stores. Yeah. I would get ingredients for them. I would commit felonies every day. Multiple felonies a day.
Go to different targets to get the stuff and then
yeah.
But
it was never a direct exchange. Everything I did was gifted to them because I was controlled by my ex, he was my stalker, and we dated.
Is this the ex that I know? Or
no, he's dead.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Good riddance.
Okay.
It's so nice to have a dead stalker.
It's nice that you're single and I have a shot.
They don't bother you anymore. From the grave, they do, though. That's the psychic problem.
Did he interfere
He
with
did stalk me for a little bit in the beginning after he died.
Is someone trying to talk to their dead uncle and he interferes or something?
No, I would see him when I was driving around. I kind of would see him superimposed over people. It was weird.
What's that creepy horror movie with the mother?
Ghost.
No, not that one. The newest one that was really creepy with the mom that her grandmother was a spiritualist.
I don't watch scary movies.
It was messed up.
You'd think I would, but I don't.
Yeah, I would think you would. You're down to watch The Exorcist every weekend.
Not even once. I've never seen it.
You probably shouldn't. So when I first saw The Exorcist, was storming at night. I watched it laughing with my friend because we had the lights on and everything.
You are a psychopath.
2 weeks later, the fan to my bedroom broke from the ceiling, so it was making loud banging noises, and I was home alone and certain that my bed was shaking upstairs, and I went outside and called the police and called my mom. So I called the police. There's something. It was like 9 years old. It was
And
bad.
a priest. Oh, you were
Police.
9 years old.
Yes, and I was alone, and my imagination ran wild, and it turned out that the fan literally was slamming against but it's like
You were home alone.
yeah, and also I was thinking about The Exorcist, like, so who's possessed now? Just the bed? It didn't go after me. It's like, what is that?
No,
It's
you
like
could
a warning.
you could have like a poltergeist in your room.
Do you think the poltergeist saw that I was watching The Exorcist 2 weeks ago and it's like, let's fuck with this
So here's
kid?
the thing. I don't know, but I think sometimes weird things happen when you open yourself up to those.
Just by watching a scary movie?
I don't know, but why? It does. I feel
They want to attack you because you're scared?
I don't know.
Are they conservative or Democrat? The demons and the poltergeist. They have political views?
There are some that just like to cause chaos. So whichever.
Like the one where you can't
side
find your
that
keys
would
for like
be.
an hour or something like that?
No, that's like fairies.
What do you have in your immediate vicinity around your house? Good spirits, bad spirits? Do you
I-
conjure? Are you a conjurer?
I invoke.
You invoke?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's fairies for sure. They do like to hide things. Not that much at my house because I give them offerings all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I leave flowers for them. What else? I have my dead cat. I have like an altar for his skeleton, so he's
Is
around.
he stuffed or just?
No, it's his bones. They're articulated.
Okay. That's cute. I
It's
guess.
so
It's
cute. Especially when people ask you how many cats you have, and you send a picture of each one, and one's just a fucking dead skeleton.
Yeah, that's why the guys are lowballing you on the site. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a $2,000 skeleton.
To do that?
Yeah,
How many cats do you have right now?
3 alive ones.
You're never gonna retire. Just kidding. They have a litter. It's over. Yeah. What's the most amount of money you ever saw as a Hell's Angels, like go-go girl or just like groupie?
So that's the thing. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Do you have a jacket?
No.
Do you have a chopper? Did you do the thing?
No,
Okay.
but I always wanted the mohawk, the helmet with the mohawk on it.
Yeah.
I thought if I got a helmet, that's what I would want. No, listen. Everything I got, I gave to them as gifts. So I never got like drugs back or money back. I would give everything to my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
and then he would give it to them because he was part of them.
Mhm.
So what is that? Was I trafficked? He would
You
also
were aiding and abetting in the.
but he would lock me in the room, and I wasn't allowed to leave without him. And usually with him, it was just like he'd take me to go do crimes and then put me back in the room. I think I was trafficked for crime.
You were. That's word traffic. First of all, the word traffic is ruining the industry of like
What does
girls
it
that
actually mean, though?
Trafficking means like, okay, a girl's a sex worker or something like
But
that.
it doesn't have to be just sex. My body was used against my will, and I didn't get anything for it. My body was controlled
were you
by
of sound
other.
mind and body at the time, and you were fully aware of what you were
No,
doing?
I was being given drugs, and then locked in a room.
To do drugs and then do stupid
And then
tests.
so I was given drugs, and then it was like, if you want more drugs, you have to go do this thing.
Oh, they were jacking you up and then getting you addicted so that
That was that's what he would do. He did it to a lot of people. A lot of people.
That is fucked up. That might be human trafficking or something. That's really bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's a great story.
It's a great story. I'm so sorry. That went like from like a funny story to like a really serious
That's
story.
what happens every
that's
time I
awful.
tell a story. I'm sorry.
All your
Just
stories are
laugh.
like that about meth and like drug running and being.
I laugh at the end of them, but other people are like, "What's my line?"
He gave you a taste and made you go to Target and buy chemicals.
CVS, Walgreens.
It's where you have to write down your name in that little book.
Yeah,
because they know what it is, like Benadryl or whatever you're
getting.
Yeah,
well, that's how it started,
Yeah.
and then through it, like the system was so weak in the beginning. It was like you just write your name on a piece of paper, And then then they had to start entering you into a database on the computer. But before, I just had different IDs.
Did you like break up with him after a while and be like, I know what you're doing? What happened?
My family had an intervention.
For you?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the meth?
Yeah.
Just meth? No H or anything harder?
Also that.
Yeah, that.
I wouldn't call it harder. It's much more boring and mild.
Well, the danger is combining the two. But I hear what you're saying, though I don't know too many people that have had heart attacks from meth, but I've heard the stories of the opioid epidemic nonstop.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
you just fall asleep. It's like the best way to die, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but there's some people that the oxygen just shut off to their brain. There's no blood flow, and they wake up and they're retarded. Oh,
really?
Sure, I can't say. They're disabled.
Oh, yeah, my friend just saw someone nodded out in a car and saved his life.
That happens
She's a hero.
all the time in the alley behind my place.
You just leave him.
No, I'm not doing it. So the cops are there constantly. And I was like, what's happening? Sometimes I walk by like, oh, we're just Narcaning someone. I'm like,
I didn't know that could happen. So I used to nod off all the time.
No, nodding off is like.
I didn't know that you could cut off.
I don't remember all the terms. Have you ever seen someone nod off and their lips go blue? Have your lips ever you know what I mean?
So
that's the bad. That's where you're getting.
You're gonna regret going down this avenue.
I want to hear it. It. I can edit it in post. It's okay.
So because I was so skinny and tiny, I would overdose a lot. I was way tinier. I was like 89 pounds. So, right now I'm like 115 or something.
Did you ever do the creepy nod where you're in bed sitting Indian style and your head goes forward? So you wake up kind of like with your chin on the bed where you're Indian style, but you're like collapsed forward. It's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Remember that.
You wouldn't see it, but someone would pick you up.
I think no one would help me.
Why not?
There was no one to help me. It was just me and my boyfriend both shooting up and nodding off.
Oh, you were shooting. Wow, that's intense. You look so
other than
the tattoos, you look so like
I know.
Homely. You're not homely.
Homely.
That's not the word. So like how'd
I get away with it? That's what I want to know. No, I do have fine lines. I really do have fine lines.
From the coke or the meth.
The meth.
Your skin looks really good. You obviously moisturized today. It's like it's glowing.
Obsessively take care of my skin.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I would overdose a lot. So on the heroin, because that's so easy, it makes your heart stop.
Yeah.
Meth, you just get more out of your mind, but you don't die.
You get really obsessed about something.
Yeah.
Not necessarily productive, but
start writing a book on toilet paper with eyeliner. I've done that before. Who hasn't done that?
You're dominating the world
in a bathtub.
Cleaning your house with like a toothbrush or something.
Yeah. That's so good. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen. So I stole a stethoscope from a doctor, and I would take heroin, or be given heroin.
Yeah.
Puke. I'd always puke. It makes you nauseous a lot of times. Then I would sit there and listen to my heart to see if I was dying. And if my heart was slowing down too much, I would smoke some meth.
To balance it out.
To get my heart rate back up.
I knew someone that did that with Coke. You went a little further. That's okay. Yeah. It's similar. I mean,
Coke is for rich people.
Understood.
Meth is so much more economic.
Yeah, but it's like it's like battery acid, how it's made just doesn't, you know what I mean? It's a little rough.
I don't know. They never told me all the ingredients. I wasn't privy to all the information.
They don't seem that good for you. Seem like amphetamine salt or Adderall is probably better for you than meth, even though they're very similar.
And cocaine is from the coca leaf.
Yeah, cocaine is fine. The additives, cocaine in general, I've had cocaine. It's
You've tried it?
Yeah, it's generally
how was it?
It's overrated most of the time because really good Coke you have like twice in your life and you're high for 30 minutes and it's the best Coke you've ever had. But you find out that the reason why you like cocaine is not because of the high. It's because you do lines with someone, maybe a beautiful girl, and you're talking like this really rapidly and you're just having ideas and that's what it is. It's like lines, snorting. This is actually the high. Okay, sorry. Well, yeah. So anyway, your mom's fucking hot. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. Like you just keep going
The
back and forth.
conversations are great.
Yeah, and it's the ritual. It's going to the bathroom and you're at a fancy restaurant and you're doing lines off like some ceramic or something.
I want
That's
to do that.
afterwards.
Okay.
But like it's just that's what it is. It's not the drug. Heroin. Unfortunately, the danger about heroin, and I don't think it's a disease, addiction.
It's all the ritual.
No, but heroin is if you had a loss, if you've had something bad in your life happen to you, that is where heroin is this danger because it takes all that pain away.
So it's
That's
a painkiller. It
but
kills
like
the pain.
a soul
It
painkiller.
really does.
Yeah.
So the way I describe heroin is it feels like a hug in your whole
Like
body.
God's embracing you. Now we're not trying to sensationalize it,
But it's no, I do find it like it's boring. All it is a hug. Hugs are nice, but like you're gonna kill yourself for a hug.
That's
so
it's also
sad.
the next day
And then you just fall asleep. It's a hug and you fall asleep.
But it wears on you. It really takes weeks to recover if you keep doing it.
I think it's like one of the most overrated drugs. That and crack. What's happening with
Crack's
your ears ring?
If meth's the poor man's coke, what is crack? That's coke. It's just with baking soda.
Yeah, it's so boring. It's truly.
I wish I had some of these poor people drugs. I went to boarding school, so I didn't have any of that. I had like really good coke and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so what is really good coke? Because some
Fish
people
scales,
say
the shiny stuff.
that. And it's extra sparkly.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I've had shitty coke that's extra sparkly, and I've had really good coke that's extra sparkly.
Should you be able to fall asleep on really good coke?
100%. What you shouldn't notice on really good coke is that you can't feel your face like The Weeknd says.
Oh, because that's an additive that they put in it. Like
there's a numbing.
The numbing.
That's
not
natural. No. Pure cocaine is used by dentists and doctors as an analgesic. It's to actually numb you.
Oh, it does?
Yes. So that's one of the side effects.
Oh, I thought that was an additive.
Really good coke, you can't feel your face. You are so high and happy for 30 or so minutes. But even that good coke, I've noticed, the down, you go like this, and then you're instantly depressed as soon as it wears off. It's not a great drug for that. Like
there's a price to pay in all things. This is what I teach and study. This is part of magic.
I know. The serotonin issue that I had from I know.
Oh yeah.
I'm still dealing with that. It's not pleasant.
What's that called again?
Serotonin syndrome.
Serotonin syndrome. You should go. I told you, go on a swing. I posted a video today on my swing.
For half the year this year, I felt fine.
I'm
and
telling
then
you,
it came back.
we need to go swinging on swings.
Well, maybe if you cancel your second obligation this evening, we can do that. Yeah, right. That's not gonna happen. Let's see. What should we talk about here?
Wait, did you know that Hitler took meth?
Oh yeah, he was tweaking during the Olympics with Jesse Owens. He's like some racial epitaphs under his breath.
Jerking off.
He was just like, you could see him twitching. It
looks like he's touching his wiener.
Oh, like a boy? You know, little boys grab their dick and get really excited.
Just like nervously, a security thing.
Yeah. I wish adults could do that, and that would be socially appropriate. That'd be really funny. Like just like, oh look, oh Sarah's here. It's like Sarah's like your daughter's teacher. It's like you look really. Stop it, Michael. Call the divorce attorneys now. Are you a soccer fan at all?
I don't. I think sports are no.
Someone wrote. Who was it? That sports is like cuckoldry for men. Like men's obsession with sports is really the idolization of like superior men, and it's really like a deep down psychological fucked up thing. Who said that?
I like that perspective.
I hate it because I don't think
because you love sports.
I don't think of like
you also love.
No. I idolize sports for sport.
I think it's like a war. Because most people aren't fighting in wars, even though wars are happening all the time. Fight in your local war.
Yeah,
I think play sports. What a waste.
Think why people watch like NASCAR is not about like a physical thing. There's fat NASCAR drivers, like really fat guys that put on that flame retardant suit and drive a car fast. That's not about a superior
Ricky Bobby.
Like Bubba Wallace or
Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby.
Ricky Bobby.
Fast. Yeah, fast.
If you ain't first, you're last.
If you ain't first, you're last. Yeah, that's what the line is.
If you don't chew Big Red, Fuck you.
God, I hope you're 18. No, but that's not
We go together like cocaine and waffles.
shake and bake. Shake. We'll shake and bake. Yeah. The NASCAR's one. Golf is not. They're fat at like. No one's looking at John Daly being like, "Oh, that's a superior person to me."
You know
He's
who's
smoking
hot
cigarettes.
is baseball players
I
and rugby
guess, yeah.
hakas. I like those.
Rugby guys.
The hakas when they're doing the war chant in the beginning.
Rugby guys have the most muscle and the leanest physiques.
I want them to just
other than like MMA guys maybe or something like that.
do a haka
On you.
near me.
Yeah, sure. I have a thing about you where I met you and I felt like I don't know that you are like you might appear to be like this sexual like she likes to get down and just but I feel like you don't actually. You're like you have to have emotional attachment. You have to be like
yeah, I'm an enigma. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to read you.
I know. So people think that I'm a dominatrix.
Yeah.
I'm not. Most people won't approach me, but then because I have resting bitch face, but then I'm smiling all the time, and I'm very social, so I go approach everybody because I've moved 27 times in my life. So if I want to know people, I'll just go talk to you.
But emotions matter. Like you have to find a counterpoint in another person.
I haven't had sex with that many people in my life.
Right.
Then my number's weirdly low.
And
for my age.
I'm not saying
it's way less. It's like half. It's not half. It's almost half my age.
You look like someone that would enjoy sex and have multiple partners, not because of a slutty thing, but because like you look like someone who you exude a lot of sexual energy.
I'm very good at sex.
Agreed.
And
I'm sorry.
And I teach I've been trying to start a sex magic class. So
what the fuck is that?
Like,
what the fuck is the sex magic class?
So
it's like pull something out. Like, look at this. How many colors of the
I basically you pull.
Like
as a woman, I don't know how men do it exactly.
We don't do magic in sex. That's
you do not. But I would be pulling energy out of the male. So have you seen this symbol? This you know what a toroidal field is?
What is she talking about? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you know what a toroidal? The toroidal. It's a torus. It's shaped like this.
Like a bowl.
It's the shape of like an apple or the Earth's magnetic field.
So like an ellipse.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that an ellipses? It's like this. It's like a circle, but in the middle there's like a tunnel.
Like a Venn diagram, almost like two circles like crossing each other.
Kind of, but you would want to think of the whole thing as a circle.
Is this like a chakra thing?
It
like the top to the bottom energy thing. Okay.
So your aura would be like a bubble, a circle around you.
Yeah.
But in the center, things are moving up through you. This is the shape of the Earth's magnetic field. This is the shape of a lot of things found in nature. So the woman is around, the vagina is around the penis.
Mm-hmm.
And you can move energy up and out.
Tim Dillon's taking notes right now. The vagina and the penis and okay.
So
you do that with like your mind
and
touch
physically,
but like not necessarily even that area, just like referential touch, like you touch their like shoulder in a certain way.
No, I would be doing this with my partner during sex.
Okay.
So I learned how to do it like it just naturally. I naturally started seeing this from doing LSD and having sex.
Is that as good as mushrooms and sex?
I haven't done mushrooms. I don't know if I've had sex on mushrooms. I don't know.
Mushroom sex, sometimes I've had it where like it feels like an orgasm if you love the person you're with. Like touching their skin is as good as having sex with them, like laying in bed. And like there's an aura, a glow around them.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's amazing, actually. Yeah.
It sounds lovely.
You should try it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that you
Not with a
can.
strange someone you have to. It's like a
Yeah,
boyfriend.
you have
Yeah.
to have a connection and be
Yeah.
able to move your energy together. You have to know each other deeply or have an energetic connection very deeply in order to be able to move things like this.
And
And it becomes, you can be sober and have a psychedelic experience during sex.
You believe in your work too that those bonds that you have celestially maybe or on this planet exist after, like maybe with certain people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like soul families.
Soul families, twin flares, maybe.
Flames.
Yes, flames. We're here on
Save
this
me.
island. Yeah.
Get me away from him.
Yeah. He's too tall.
This wait, I'm gonna open this one.
Go for
this
it.
mango White Claw. I invented a drink called it's called a basura blanca, white trash.
All right, who's gonna
in
be your
Spanish.
sponsor?
I mean,
You should bring that to someone.
White Claw?
Yeah,
Sponsor me.
talk to
So
White
listen,
Claw.
it's a White Claw on ice with a tahine rim
Okay.
and lime.
White Claw, if you're listening, take the drink and do the slow the slow smile. You know, like.
Oh, wait. Should we ASMR it?
Yeah. Hi.
Hear that? I bet it's gonna taste like mangoes.
You have to do the sexy lip smacking thing.
I don't. I've never done ASMR. My friend tries to make me do it for her,
This
but
might be a side gig for you. What's the one girl that does? I used to watch her videos all the time to fall asleep. GB ASMR. She wants to make like $800,000 a month or something. Crazy amounts of money. You hear that, White Claw?
Is
White
this
trash element.
Basura
thing?
blanca.
Yeah. You're saying basura blanca?
White trash in
Yeah,
Spanish because it's a Mexican flavor scheme that I'm going for. Tahine, lime, mango.
I feel like
they have like those
Hispanic
lollipops.
women will drink that more than like white women and like kind of laugh at the whole idea of it. It's kind of funny, like an inside joke.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
I'm a fucking joke. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Basura blanca.
Mm-hmm.
Basura blanca.
Do you want to talk about seeking it all and tricking idiot men into giving you loads of money just to have dinner?
So, I think they're very, very nice men.
Of course they are.
For giving me money to have dinner.
Lonely, maybe.
Yeah. So
short-sighted, because what's the dream, right? Is it a strip club? Like she's gonna fall in love with me? Is that you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because dinner is like intimate, and then that's an emotional attachment, and yet there's not supposed to be an emotional attachment. It's like a fake attachment. Like I'm your friend.
Yeah.
There's no. It's platonic.
I'm just like burping.
Yeah, it's good for good for the mic.
Yeah,
good for
hot.
the gander. And then nothing, and then they run out of money, and then they're alone again.
I was homeschooled. I was not socialized normally, and I don't actually know how to play games with people like other people do. So like girls have really always fucked me up. Girls are.
You don't have a lot of girlfriends.
No, but like girls that like play games that are like really manipulative, like mean girls. I don't actually.
BPD girls.
Don't know how to do that. So here's the thing. People will pay me, men pay me to go out to dinner with them.
Yeah.
And I think they like me because I'm different. I'm not a dumb blonde. I'm not a mean girl who's playing games. I'm literally, this is me.
And you're open and you're sexy.
I'm smart.
And
I have great conversation skills.
You're very practical, I think. And what I mean to say is, you don't let sensationalism or like the moment, you don't lose sight of like your goals or like your immediate like wants don't overtake your like longer term or focus.
Yeah.
I seem like you're kind of calculating a little bit, and like not in a bad way, not in a bitchy like catty way, but like you're not gonna let a guy that's like gorgeous that goes on a date with you get away with like sneaking one past the net, so to speak.
No, right. But I'm very honest about my goals. So if people want to invest in the work that I do, be a patron of mine, sponsor me, be an investor or a donor,
What's your website?
dominusmysteria.com.
Okay. All right.
So,
Plug.
yeah.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
Uh-huh.
No, I help people. That's all I want to do because I've recovered from addiction and I've had a crazy life. I had a lot of trauma in my childhood. I've
And
recovered from that.
you don't believe in the 12-step program?
No, and I want to make my own
Your own version.
program that I can offer because this is a religious program that the government is telling people to do.
You mean like drug court and stuff like that?
Yeah. Like what?
It's been adopted heavily because it does work,
It's because it's wrapped up in a nice little package and there's nothing else wrapped up that neatly that they can just be like, here, do this and go away.
There's a couple famous people that have walked away from the whole 12-step program and saying they respected it, but they don't do it. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but it's actors and stuff like that.
Oh, so many people have gone through it.
They've gone through it and they said it wasn't for them, and they drink. They don't do drugs, but maybe they even do drugs, but they don't have a problem anymore.
Yeah. Right. Because you can recover. You can recover. And I learned that from AA.
I really believe that the father that runs over his baby and on his way to work, who's playing in the driveway, that's not an addiction. That's not like a disease. He had a trauma, and so he's using drugs to numb it.
Yeah.
So I don't think people need to be on methadone for the rest of their lives as like a therapy, which I think is completely fucked up. It's like taking heroin and then giving them like a real doctor a patient for life. So he's like basically like a subscription to Netflix forever.
Yeah.
I think
any you're still living in prison.
You're right. You're permanently attached to that. You have to be on it for the rest of your life. And
this isn't freedom and liberation and healing. You're not healed.
You're not healed, and it's a fake statistic that you're less likely to die. Well, yeah, because you're on like safe heroin for the rest of your life. But that's not healthy. That's not good for your brain. It's not good for your body. Yeah.
And like you can.
So you're not you either. You're like high all the time, or like.
And you're in a fucking cult.
Right. That's telling you, a medical cult that's saying this is the best thing for you. But yeah. I've met 22-year-old girls that have like been offered like Suboxone or whatever, or basically they don't titrate you down anymore. That's not the standard of care. The standard of care is to give you these drugs forever, even no matter your age. It's like
they're probably getting paid off somewhere.
Well,
want to get into conspiracy
They
theories.
argue, the statistics say, look at all the people that fail from titration and going down to be like dropping down.
That's because they're not healing the trauma and the fucking connection issue.
Right. They might have the same friends, the same problem, the same, their mother died and they never got over it, the same shit. And
it's a lack of connection. And like, think about all the times that you've done drugs and you felt connected to the people around you. You smoke weed. Now you're connected to this group of people, or you feel connected to the earth somehow, or you feel connected to God, or whatever it is.
You're filling a void, maybe.
It's connection, a connection issue. There's trauma and trauma causes disconnection. That's why not all people who have experienced trauma become addicts.
That's why people, I think, that have friends and close connections can do drugs together and not be addicts. But people that don't have that friend that do the drugs, they're alone, or because they've lost that person, that's where the danger lies. It's like complete filling of the gap. You and I doing mushrooms, if we liked each other, I don't like you that much, but if we did, and then we got like a nice connection, and like our hands went like this, and there was like some glow between them, that would be amazing. But if you died, and I cared about you very deeply, and I'm like getting older, and like I don't really want to date anymore, right? And like I don't want to start over. And this person, I constantly dwell on you that passed away, and I start to drink, and then it keeps going. That needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
You know? That's not like a disease. That just happens, right?
No, that's just pain.
It's pain.
And drugs are a tool. Alcohol's a tool.
Yes.
And they can be wonderful tools, but they can be become handicaps. Like, I have a whole video on this. Like, it's something, a tool or a crutch, and you need to be mindful of this all the time and check in with yourself.
Yeah.
Am I using this thing as a tool or a crutch?
What's the funniest drug experience you've ever had that's like a positive one, so we can get off the negative?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and I'll tell you mine.
Last Thanksgiving, I dosed my whole family with mushrooms.
Without telling them?
No,
Oh, okay.
I told
Okay.
them, but I had like talked it up for a couple of months.
How many grams each?
I was like, we'll just do a microdose.
Okay.
And they're so beautiful and lovely, and you don't like, it's not scary. My sister has really bad anxiety about everything.
Sure. So like a gram or less?
I don't fucking know. I
Okay.
Googled it. Like when I stopped doing drugs, I forgot all the drug mathematics.
Right.
Like I don't remember. So I had to Google it. But I was like, look, we're just gonna do microdose, and it's not scary. You don't trip out.
Yeah, no hallucination.
Yeah, you just like feel more love in
A
your
glow,
heart. Yeah, and everything's more
laughter.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's look at trees and look flowers, and they'll be so beautiful. And we love the earth, and we love each other.
Do you ever notice that the microdose, the beginning of shrooms is like the blood kind of rushing behind your ears type thing, which sounds like the rocks at like the beach when your car goes over them. Like you start to feel this kind of like tingling in your jaw, like a sweetness. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't done it enough, I think, to remember to have made note of that.
Yeah, I like to make connections of what people feel like, if that's the same as me. Like when I was a kid going to the beach, I'd like close my eyes and remember the sand between my toes so that I can, when it's winter, I could go back there and feel that. But with mushrooms, there's like little parts of it, like the afterglow when you're coming down. When I've been able to talk to people and say, that's sometimes as good as being as high, like the top of it. When the bioplasma is completely fulfilled, dropping down towards the end of the trip is lovely. The afterglow.
I do love that.
If you're with someone you care about, particularly.
Yeah.
You're watching the sunset. I was in Malibu and we're coming down at the beach at Zuma. And I was just like, this is heaven.
With the love of your life?
Yes, it was great.
Aww, that's
Brunette,
so
very beautiful. Yeah.
Not me.
Not you. No.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. Well, that's not what happened to my family.
Oh, God.
So I was like, we'll take these. It's a microdose.
You picked the wrong mushrooms and they all died. No, that's not funny.
I mean, no, my family's all still alive. But I think there's like different types of mushrooms that are different strengths.
Oh, what did you do? You just bought like a bag full from someone?
My niece. Okay, so it was my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and I. And then the rest, there was more people in the house.
Right.
Like her teenage kids, and my ex was there.
Right.
So we're just like high in front of the whole family, which they all knew was going to happen.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, mom and dad are high, like tripping on mushrooms, and Auntie Sarah, which that's not that weird. But no, my niece got the mushrooms from her drug dealer, and he made them into chocolates, truffles. And she was like, I don't know, maybe he hooked me up too much. Or they were like these fast, they kicked in really fast. Like is that a thing? Would they kick in extra fast? It was like 20 minutes.
It depends on your metabolism whether you ate. Most people it takes an hour.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought we had an hour.
Yeah, usually they tell you, oh, don't do more because you're going to feel it and it's going to hit.
I thought we had an hour. Well, I dosed everybody on what I thought was a microdose based on fucking Google.
Yeah.
And then I thought we had an hour, and me and my niece leave, and we start tripping while we're gone. I'm like, how the fuck we gonna get home now? And then we made it home, but in the car ride home, I blacked out at a stoplight, and I pissed my pants.
That's some strong microdosing. Yeah.
That's wild. Who pisses their pants and blacks out? And she's like screaming, Auntie Sarah, and she was so scared.
How old is she?
Like 22.
Oh, she wasn't like a teen. Oh, okay. So you would have gotten in trouble if a cop came by. Big trouble. It's bad.
I like gave a child drugs.
Yeah, or the child inadvertently tells the cop, it's just mushrooms, a microdose.
My auntie gave it to me.
Oh my God, you'd be in so much. I'd never. Oh my God, that'd been awful. Awful.
No, I just wanted to have a beautiful, cute time with my family.
And it worked out, sort of.
Well, my sister. So we're having a horrible time. We're all having panic attacks, except my brother-in-law, and like my sister. She has to be taken on walks outside to like smell the grass and sniff some leaves to try to ground her. And we're pretending like we're fine.
You have to watch like a movie. You have to like get your mind out of it.
We did. We watched the interview about
that would
Kim Jong-un.
I watched Rushmore with the first time on shrooms without a sitter, me and my girlfriend in college. And I watched it was 2 hours into it. The wall started to melt, and I was just like, "Oh fuck this!" I had no idea what I was expected to see. Like I didn't know this. No frame of reference.
Being inside is not cool on shrooms.
It
I don't.
can be if you're in the right setting, but like it's better for the afterglow. It's better for like later on, not the height of the high. You want to be out in nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
like,
want to be
100%.
outside.
Watch the sky. If you watch the sky in Texas when you're on shrooms, fuck me. It's like it opens up to you like where you are is nothing. The world is like it's almost like giving you a hint like when it's over, it's all gravy, baby. Like you're gonna be fine.
I mean, sober, I trip out on the skies in Texas. The clouds. Are you
Do you
fucking
ever go to a
kidding me?
field? You live out in the country, right?
I live in a field.
Right. And you can lay back and you can see
Yeah.
everything. And
The
there's no
sky
lights.
is huge, and the clouds are incredible. And yeah, the
And you
shapes
live-
of the clouds and the colors. And you get the sunset, like it'll glow on the opposite. It'll glow all the way across the
Glorious,
sky. You can look at
glorious.
either east or
You're in
west.
horse country.
I am.
Minus the bad part, which is the people trafficking like kilos with horses next to you.
I know.
You can't really say it. We shouldn't probably talk about that.
I
Sounds
don't
like a bad idea.
know. I contacted my friend contacted the FBI.
She's not ratting as a snitch. She's upset about the animal cruelty.
I'm no snitch.
Yeah, it's the animal cruelty.
I've never snitched.
They're sewing
in my life.
kilos into the horses.
I don't fucking know what they're
But
doing.
you see squares or some shit.
I don't give a fuck about. I do care about people, but I really care about animals.
Right.
They're innocent and they don't.
Maybe they're just tumors.
No, where'd you get this? I didn't say they were cutting open the horses.
You told me that they were trafficking drugs with the horses.
I think they're trafficking lots of things, including horses.
Trafficking horses or trafficking drugs in horses?
I think they're trafficking horses.
I felt like you showed me a picture of like a horse that looked like, what is that? And it looked like literally a square kilo in the horse's skin.
I've never sent you a picture of a horse.
I feel like you did. Or I saw it on your Instagram and you put it on Instagram.
I did.
She foolishly put on Instagram her neighbors who are drug traffickers, like the kilo sticking out of the horse's hide or something. I'm like,
just like sticking out of
are
its
you
ass.
waiting for them to just come and like cut off your head?
I
Like,
am.
oh my
Yeah, I
God.
have a friend who's an ex-cop, and he was like, "Stop calling the cops,"
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they threatened my ex already, and then but I have security cameras everywhere.
it doesn't matter when the cartel kills you and then walks back across the border. Be careful about that one.
I know.
That's bad, man.
But now I woke up the other morning and all the horses are gone. And the sheriff, this fucking dickhead, I don't know if he's a sheriff, he's a deputy, I don't know, the guy, he's this old guy who like won't take a report
Mhm.
because all the other deputies that have come to my house to take reports, they're like, "Oh yeah, he's so old, he hates turning on his computer." So that's why he's hung up on me.
He's not the guy who's going to save you from the Juarez cartel, that's for sure.
No, he won't take a report because he doesn't want to turn on his computer.
I think this is one where you have to like call a federal agency and let it be and just not ever like post anything on your social media. The cartel has killed people that post like where they are, and there was a prosecutor in Colombia or Bolivia that was on vacation in the Bahamas with his girlfriend, and he posted where they were. She did on her Instagram on the beach that day. They came up in boats and this killed them. Like it's very like.
But am I in that deep? I live next door to these motherfuckers. I've called the cops on them.
Well, you shouldn't post on your
hundreds of
social
times.
media that you think they're drug traffickers. Just you did do that. Like that's probably not a good idea.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
100%.
Oh.
That's why that's why all the ideas came to my head. And I'm like, yeah, oopsie daisies. Yeah, oopsies.
Well, I'll just archive that. I don't know. You know what? I don't fucking know. Why doesn't someone do anything about it? What if I just make more noise, get media involved? I've contacted Whitney Cummings, and she did respond to me, but she was when she was on tour and she couldn't really help me.
Yeah, she isn't the story like there's sometimes like a cat that's like in her neighborhood that's like constantly she finds the same cat and keeps bringing it, and it's like
she like thought she was rescuing it,
right,
just
it's like-
someone's outdoor cat.
yeah, it's like leave the fucking cat alone.
She didn't know they
Whitney.
could go outside.
Yeah. She really like Instagram responded to you.
Yeah, I've spoken to her.
That's amazing. She never responds to me.
Well, you just like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
tag
you.
the
I'll
horses,
tag the horses.
help with the horses.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend has an FBI agent friend, And she told her about the situation. She was like, "Are the cops in on it? That's what we think at this
Oh
point."
my God. This totally, we should just.
What?
It's so, you're talking about the cops being on a drug trafficking organization with your name. It's not even the bad people that live at the end of the block. They're like right next door to you,
Well,
and they're
we
trafficking
need the
for a
media
cartel at the border.
involved. We don't know that it's a cartel.
We
We
live
need
in a
the
border
media
city.
involved.
Oh
It's
my
too
God.
late to go back now.
Have you
Now
seen
I just
Sicario?
now I need more
Oh my
more
God.
public.
You're gonna be like one of the girls they find
More
with plastic
eyes on me
bags
will
over
keep me
her
safe.
face
No,
inside the wall of the
if
house.
I'm too public, they can't kill me because
They
then it'll
killed
be
a lawyer who holds a
obvious.
public position on the beach with his fiance. Be careful about
Was
this
it too
stuff.
obvious?
I mean, they put on their social. So drug cartels have social media.
Yeah, but what if
They were
every news organization knows about this?
well, they really posted on their like Juarez cartel social media. Yeah, we did that. Yeah, they're not like, oh, we don't want anyone to find out. No, they did it. Yeah. It's
Well-
like Al Qaeda saying Allah Akbar, we killed the guys in the gay club or whatever. I don't know.
Is that what they did?
No, they actually didn't. So the Florida gay club thing that happened had nothing to do with like homosexuality. He actually thought he didn't know it was a gay club.
Not the new one.
No, not the new one.
Not the new
The
one.
one in Florida that they talk about. He
He didn't know it was a gay club.
did not know it was a gay
He
club.
just was like,
But they never
look at these
The media never. He actually went in and said, "Why are there all these guys here?" He actually didn't know.
guys
Yeah.
or F words.
No, guys. Why are there all these? Why are there no girls here?
What
That's
if
what he
he
said.
just said
No, I mean
why?
he's a faggot. That's fine. There's actually someone who was it? They stopped Louis C.K. and said, "Louis C.K. I just want to
They're like,
thank.
let me see your dick.
No, I just want to thank you for incorporating the word faggot in your new movie because this is a gay person." He's like, because it was a breath of fresh air because that's our word and it's hilarious when you use it, not in like they're not using it in a way that's like homophobic, but in a way that's like, you fucking faggot, stop cuffing your jeans. It says like nothing to do with like homosexuality. And they were like, you're normalizing something rather than like whitewashing or like moving a word into like so it's like
you can't say this,
right, and this gay person appreciated that. So I don't know. I think faggot.
It has felt like a very violent word, but you know what? My favorite word is cunt. I think that's the most violent of all the words.
Louis C.K. likes that word too. It's beautiful. It's
cunt.
like cunt. It's
cunt.
Like a butterfly. Yeah.
You know, and I like that we don't say it a lot in the U.S. because it makes it so special.
It's a little like
Cunt.
brusque, you know? It's a little like too, you know, it's a little harsh.
I don't know what I like better because when I was in England, everyone's a fucking cunt.
Yeah, but they don't actually.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
It's a term of endearment almost. So you fucking cunts. Like they don't necessarily mean it in the worst way.
Yeah. But sometimes they don't have one word that's reserved
Their fags are cigarettes.
for the worst of the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
They say fag all the time.
They have enormous domination or command of the English language.
That's so true.
They're OGs.
I bet no one would say like, "Hey, can you watch your mouth around my child?" in England.
What do you think babies in England say like, "Mom, stop being like such a cunt," and it's like normal. It's like not like a
You
horrible
fucking
thing.
cunt.
You
No.
fucking cunt.
You fucking. Oh, I was doing South African.
Mom, why am I late? Check your schedule.
Schedule.
Where's my bottle?
Bottle
Bottle.
of water.
You know the U.S. like
Bottle of water.
they tied whales in soccer.
The animals?
No,
Oh.
no. The U.S. soccer team is in the World Cup, and we tied a small area of England, Wales, that has their own soccer team. Not England, but like a small section. That's like if the U.S. soccer team lost to Florida. It's really
The whole of U.S. to a
Florida.
tiny. That's what you.
we tied them. It was not good. We were supposed to destroy them. It wasn't good.
I mean, but we.
Not a good.
Do
Not
we
a good.
play a
showing.
lot of soccer?
We play. The problem is
They're like-
we've diffused our athletes into basketball and football and all
Yeah.
these other things.
Yeah.
Like if LeBron James was on our soccer team, we'd destroy
We have
people.
so many sports. What do they have?
Right.
Rugby and soccer.
That's the problem. It's not fair.
Do they play golf?
They do. But that You
Should I
okay?
burp into the mic next time? It's number 2.
Oh, good for it.
This is my basura. No, I mean this is one of the ingredients for
The gay
basura
rights thing,
blanca.
Qatar's Qatar is what you're supposed to pronounce it. I say Qatar.
Qatar?
Yeah, Qatar's Qatar. It's actually Qatar.
What do you mean? To them, they call it.
It's generally
Qatar?
worldwide. We're supposed to call it Qatar. Yeah,
Who said that?
everyone.
Why do
And
we call it Qatar?
the Human Rights
Wow.
Council was talking about how all the migrant workers that died making like the Olympics happen in Qatar.
Ugh.
Qatar.
No, FIFA.
What about FIFA?
Isn't it happening in the
I don't
the
think
World
FIFA does
Cup?
the World Cup. I think they might be involved, but it's World Cup's like its own thing.
I thought FIFA was.
Maybe what it is. FIFA World Cup. That's what it is.
Yeah,
FIFA World
fuck
Cup.
them.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, the president of FIFA was like taking bribes, and I think he was like charged by the U.S. Justice Department at one point in
They're
time.
fucking horrible.
Yeah.
When it was in Brazil.
Brazil.
When it was in Brazil, I remember I was seeing like 9-10 years
By the
ago.
way, I think the Brazilians are so good at soccer and sports, like jiu-jitsu, like agro sports, because they have toxoplasmosis from cats' poop. They have the parasite in their brain that makes them
Because their
more...
moms were cleaning kitty litter.
Because there's so many like
when they were
cats and like there's so many stray cats in Brazil
What's
and toxoplasmosis.
what happens with toxoplasmosis? How do you
The
know you have
parasite
it?
embeds itself in your brain and makes you a bit more aggressive. Yeah.
How do you, if you get it from being pregnant and touching cat's poop?
They tell you when you have a baby, if you have a cat, you have to like...
You can't clean his poop.
You not even... Some people say you're supposed to get rid of the cat.
That's so stupid.
I know you're
Never
a cat
get rid of
person.
your cat.
I know. But the cat might smother the baby.
Fuck
You've
your-
heard that one, right?
No, they fucking take care of the baby. Maybe your baby's evil and is trying to save you from the baby.
Oh man. Maybe the spirits that told you that are actually bad spirits just fucking with you. They're like,
Meow meow.
I wonder what kind of mom you'd be.
I'd be such a good mom
You think so?
if I had a nanny. I just need some help.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like a good father.
World Cup. Oh,
Could you imagine a man as a good father? I can't.
you think what do you think about
at?
what do you think about me? What would I be?
I don't know.
A bad father is possible. That's
No.
something in your head.
That you'd be a bad father?
Like so you don't know. So bad father's a possibility. Alcoholic, beat everyone. I'm like, oh man, I lost money at the tracks today.
I don't think you'd beat us.
Slap around.
No, you wouldn't beat us. You'd probably disappear for a while and like just fuck a bunch of hookers and give me an STD.
That's possible. But if I really loved you, I wouldn't do that. I
Maybe you hate yourself more.
all narcissists hate themselves deep down. That's the problem.
Are you a narcissist?
My mom, so I read some of the trial transcripts from my parents, like back and forth fighting over money in court.
How old were you?
Like young, like 13.
That's so fucked up.
I read it. So my mom's basement.
No, you read it when you were 13. You read the divorce.
Even earlier, there had binders in my mom's basement. You couldn't walk. So imagine like a mini mansion type
Was
house.
she the narcissist? No, she was bipolar.
I think my mom might have been borderline. Because I
Borderline.
like women that are borderline. I don't know why.
I'm not I don't have enough diagnosable symptoms.
I like crazy bitches.
But just because I've recovered from trauma, but I used to be a real fucking crazy bitch.
Right. So that's...
But I've recovered. Still a little.
Whatever you say.
I got an evaluation recently.
Well, so my
just
dad...
to double check.
My dad did
and he was
too.
like, you don't
and
have enough diagnosable symptoms anymore.
My dad allegedly was diagnosed with legitimately narcissistic personality disorder. So when I was like, when my dad was rich, worked at Goldman Sachs, and had a hedge fund and all this shit.
Is that why you're rich?
No comment. And it's so much easier when you just inherit it. No, but no, it's no, it's he would like we'd go to like we'd stay at the Grand Floridian Hotel and like Disney World, for example. That's like the nice hotel. Oh. And then like my dad.
I wouldn't know.
We'll go. My dad would take us out and like the what's the one with like the Splash Mountain or something. We'd go on the ride by ourselves. He's like, go enjoy. Well, I'll meet you at the bottom. He wouldn't be there. He'd have gotten distracted and gone off and done his own thing. The police would like find us and then call my mom at the hotel. My mom would yell at my dad and be like, sorry, I just got I wanted some cotton candy or something.
That's not a symptom of narcissism.
Well,
I mean, obviously that's very
ADD.
Selfish, you think, but that's ADD and like what else could that be?
When Kelsey passed away, he said lots of people die from. He said that to me. Lots of people, as if to calm me down. Was
he autistic?
No, he doesn't. He lacks the natural ability to be empathetic. He doesn't. He once told me.
But narcissists fake empathy really well.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I think they have to try. If he doesn't care, then he doesn't care.
Oh,
Yeah,
weird.
he's not that great of a person. So I don't have that.
Is he dead?
No, he's
Bummer.
he's
You gonna get a lot of money when he dies? You're the one and only child? No. You have to
no,
split it?
there's 4 kids, but at one point there was like a $20 million life insurance policy. So I don't know if that still exists.
Oh, because they could have started cashing it out.
No, because I just don't know if it exists still. I don't know anything. I don't like talk to my dad that much. I have been told by a couple people that he thinks like he feels
Like you guys only like him for his money.
no, he doesn't wish ill of me, and he does like it's not
He's
even
just not proud of you.
it's not that he doesn't have a good relationship with any of his kids. So there's something there as a problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so what? So he doesn't want to give you his money when he dies?
No. What I'm saying is that he might, despite not having a good relationship with him.
Who's he gonna give it to? Your fucking cousin?
I don't know.
A charity?
A Republican candidate, maybe the Ku Klux Klan.
You
I don't
can
know.
fight
I don't
that. You
know.
can fight that.
I don't.
Which
care.
is really fucked up because imagine it's your money and you decide.
I'm gonna fight it amongst 3 other brothers. Yeah, it's not fun.
No, I mean, I'm saying you
let
die
them have it.
and you write a will
Mhm.
and you're like, I want my money to go over here,
Yeah.
maybe to this person or whatever,
Or
whoever it is.
To a dog.
Whatever or
And
whoever
I can
it
fight
is.
that.
No, let's say it's to somebody you love and not your piece of shit family. Let's say that.
You can do that. Yeah.
But your family, how can a will be contestable? It's your fucking will, and you're not around to stand up.
It's called irrevocable. Yeah. Once you're dead, it's.
What you should have done is, if you know that it's a controversial will, you should have given it to those people right before you died.
I don't think about it like that. You're really calculating. I don't think about it that way. It's kind of like, part of me doesn't want the money because it's
Cursed.
My dad is not a great dad. I don't think it's necessarily his fault either. I think it's like psychological.
Yeah.
He's a very brilliant person. He gave me his mind in many respects. I'm grateful for that. But I don't think he's the type of person that is necessarily even completely aware of how bad of a dad he has been to his kids.
That's not uncommon.
Right.
And that's nice.
So you start to forgive them.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
you
the
have
healing.
to.
Yeah. I was angry for a long time, and it went away. I was like, what's the point? It's not like he's malicious.
Right. No. I mean, no one gets a manual for being a parent, and most people shouldn't be parents. They're not, like, very few people are actually really good at being parents. You know what I mean? They're just regular fucking people.
I think that's the
that
danger
just
of having
have a
bad parents is that
person.
the reason maybe why birth rates are going down is we have so many bad parents. It's getting worse and worse for whatever reason. That kids are like, oh my God, my parents were so fucked up. I don't
want to do that.
I don't want to
fail.
fail. I don't want to fail.
That's why I didn't want to have
Which is the irony is that if you know what's the bad
reasons.
parenting, all you have to do is do the opposite. You have a litmus of what shitty parenting is.
But if you're aware, now we're so aware of like trauma and psychology. If you're aware that you have these patterns within you that are unhealed, you're gonna recreate those patterns no matter how bad you don't want to, unless you heal them first.
Kelsey was aware of her mom being alcoholic, and she then had problems with drugs and alcohol. So I see, and she was aware of that. So, but I'm aware that I have some forms of entitlement and stuff like that, which come from my dad. But I've learned so much about how toxic that is that I'm so careful about it. I'm not saying I'm cured myself, but these traits that are innate in me from my father, I've learned to recognize them and like quell them and kind of stop the storm.
Like, do you think so? What about in a
I would be there
conflict
for my kids. I would not.
What about if your kid
abandon
was
them.
just like screaming? Would you get angry? Or what if they're like so fucking annoying? Would you be able to be
Ferber method?
I understand that you're
Ferber
feeling
method.
frustrated right now.
Self-soothing.
Do you want to talk about that? Oh, just lock them in the closet.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
No.
Learn how to self-soothe.
No.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I talk about attachment.
You don't lock them in the closet. You just like let the baby
that's what
cry
we did
out.
to my niece. Sorry.
Jesus, like a chain and stuff.
I mean, no, we had her crib in like a big walk-in closet. And all the parenting books were like, they need to self-soothe. And I remember her screaming.
Can I put a prop bet up on Vegas that she is now claustrophobic? Yeah.
Oh, no, she's not.
And she ask her. That'd be interesting.
It was a large closet.
It got smaller and smaller as she grew up. I mean,
I feel so. We all.
have you been back to your bedroom when you were a kid and like been like, oh man, this is so tiny?
We've moved.
Did you hear voices when you were a
many
kid? Like lots
times
of
in
kids
my
did.
life.
The voices.
You trying to coerce me into saying something? Like lots of kids?
No, lots. So I heard voices. Apparently, it's very common for kids to hear voices, and I wonder what that is. And it goes away when you get older. It's very common.
So I would
like lots of talking in your head of multiple people, and then it kind of like fades. It's very normal. I looked it up. I was like wondering about that. I thought I had some special thing. Apparently, it's common.
I would say I am more able to hear different perspectives now.
No, I don't mean voices in real life. I mean they're in your head.
No, I mean sometimes I'm able. So there's a practice
not
between
there.
like moving between the observer and your ego and your inner child. So I'm able to move between those.
So they're self-referential, like say, "Hey, Sarah, don't do that," or "He's actually kind of cute." No, he's not. He has herpes.
Right.
So,
they're all me.
Yeah.
And they don't have other names. It's not like DID.
No, these were like poltergeist things, like Ronald from 1950s with his wife, and they died in a car accident with their Chevelle or something, and like off a bridge, and they're like yammering in the background, like when I was a kid, like eight versions of them.
8 versions of the same.
8 people, different people with like very mundane, like, and it's very, very common for kids to hear these things.
Well, I mean, so kids are much more open to everything. They're like cats. Like they can see.
I think that there's like
and sense. We're all antenna. We all have the capability to open back up.
There's a spiritual fibrosis that happens though, like hair. This little dot thing that I have on my head is like wasn't there when I was like in high school, and fibrosis causes the blood flow to the hair to start to like fuck up, and then DHT gets trapped and it kills your hair follicle. Spiritually, the way you think, the conformity of life starts to like stop you from the 9-to-5 job to like everything else, to your responsibilities to your family, which what are you supposed to do about that? You lose the antenna. You become like everything goes from here when you're a kid, narrows down this hallway. And I almost wonder if the spiritual realm that you talk about, like that we sign contracts to come here, maybe different worlds too, that's what like we have. There may be a version of me that's more self-aware that's outside of this world watching me right now, like a part of me that I can, it's so complex.
There is. That's your higher self. Most of you is not in this tiny body.
Because it would make sense if I want to learn.
The rest of your soul.
My soul could have 2 lives going at the same time to learn more simultaneously.
Yeah,
it's way faster.
That part I can't even handle, but
it seems to make sense though, right?
Yeah, like it's like this whole thing that I'm saying, like with your soul and your higher self being not all the way in your body, plus a multiverse.
There's a version of...
So it's coming down, a tiny aspect is coming down, and then in...
self-referential.
Fucking multiverse.
Yeah, like 500 of me. I want to have
it could
a weight
be an
problem,
infinite amount.
When I have red hair, I'm bald, herpes, a giant black dick, all things. Yeah, very exciting.
I actually, like, no matter how much I've studied this, stuff like that doesn't... help me. It gets too fucking weird that you have to be like, all right, that fine could be true, but it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't change what I'm doing here and now.
You're not just jump off a bridge because it doesn't matter, because like it's not going to work that way. You're not going to just like rob banks because it doesn't matter. You're inhibited.
I'm saying there's some information that's too big to try to grasp and figure out.
Well, it serves, there's no benefit to grasping it.
Exactly, because there's no benefit to here and now.
This celestial world, to try to apply that to here, this human world, it's pointless.
Right. If you want to think about it just for funsies, knock yourself out, but then just let it go because it doesn't matter and it shouldn't change how you live your life here.
I really do believe, though, like there are little things that I experienced when Kelsey passed away. That Kelsey, my fiance who passed away, that are months later, over a year later, that are so paranormal, like that are.
I'm sure she's around you.
it makes me feel that it wasn't
cuckolding
just
you.
right 5
She's like smoking a cigarette in the corner.
very Lana Del Rey
She
vibes
would love
constantly.
that.
5-6 years relationship that person you have, that if it's real, if there's really true love, some form of it there, some true connection, because I feel like there's these people that are like our cheerleaders that are like watching us from the sidelines, and they're like they really want us to do well. There's no judgment
That is
really,
exactly the
but they
right
want us
word.
to do
They're your
well.
guy.
Yeah.
They're part of your team.
Yeah.
That's what I call them. They're just like on your team. They I don't yeah. People say guides and blah blah blah. I like the word team because I think when you come here you have like a soul family, so souls you incarnate with and teach each other lessons, but then there's also ones that stay up there that kind of like are cheering for you. But then when someone's not here anymore, well, I guess they're always up there. The rest of their souls up there. I don't know. See, whatever. It's your fucking team. She's on your team, and she is cheering for you
And I think
and
that
watching you.
I think it's funny that
Fuck
there are
other
people that
people.
we can't stand down here that we aren't compatible with. That I wonder in the celestial world, are we just like, yeah, they're fine, but no. Like, is it same energy? Like we respect them, we don't get along with them.
No, I think
Or
the
you
people
do.
that we have a really big emotional reaction about, whether it's good or bad, I think we must have a relationship to when we're not here.
Do you think some of our skills carry over to up there? Like if we're writers here, we're creatives up there, or that some of us that are like depressives and hate life, that's like a contract we sign to feel that? Like what? Like are we blank slates up there, or do we carry our personality?
No, we do carry our
Okay.
personalities. Okay, so there's this book called Seth Speaks, and I haven't read the whole thing, but okay. Do you like my pimp coat, by the way?
It's so
sweating
hot in here,
balls,
the lights and everything.
but
But it looks good.
fashion over everything.
Yes.
Oh my god, are we in love?
Maybe.
Can you buy me some clothes?
Sure.
Okay. Well, anyways, Seth Speaks. He talks about that. He calls everyone just personalities. And so I've experienced the craziest things. I receive information all the time, but it's very abstract.
Mhm.
And this book actually, he says it in words. And I'm like, he describes eternity. And I've felt eternity. Like, I get, no matter what plant medicines I take, I get shown the same thing every time. And like sometimes I get taken into eternity. And like, how could you fucking describe that? And this entity that was channeled through this woman in the 60s, I think, he describes it in words. And he calls all of us personalities, and we keep our personalities. And he also says, have you ever listened to music and you're like, this person didn't write this music? This is like, how could they create this thing? This thing must exist. And they just like brought it through their
What makes someone
bodies.
creative? They like grasp it from the ether.
Yeah,
for the
you're like,
ideas,
this had to have existed outside of them, and then it just went through their body and he brought it here.
Right.
Like I feel that with classical music a lot. I'm like, this is a whole thing that just came through that person. He said there's dimensions of wild dimensions that aren't anything like ours, and some of them are like music. So
yeah, like vibrations or something.
but that means that there's like souls and beings that are fucking music and mathematics.
It's possible. I would hope that I've read some of the near-death experiences where people go to a place that there's a transition place that's like you're around people that you truly care about, like that's a Earth-like place. Your favorite house is at the same place, so they spend time with you, and you get to review your life. And there's like time where you get to like kind of reflect, spend time with people you truly care about that have passed, and then there's like a choice. Staying or going back.
Oh yeah,
and like there's like it's common for a lot of people that have been in hospice care, that have been revived, to people who. Interesting thing about hospice care is the people that die there that see their loved ones that have passed come to them before they die.
Yeah.
But then there's someone who's on a whitewater rafting trip and they're not expecting to die, but their raft flips over. They then experience the same type of thing. Someone that they care about that's passed comes to them and says, it's not your time. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. Or they say that if it is, everything's going to be fine.
I've heard from a lot of mediums besides those near-death experiences. Other mediums have said, like, when you die, you're not like you're helped over to the other side. You're not just left like wandering.
Right.
But I think that I shouldn't have drank
That's okay.
carbonated beverages.
Sorry.
I think that you're like you see these lovely familiar places.
Yeah.
Because it's the least threatening environment. Like you're in the astral realm somewhere, and it could look like anything.
Well,
But that's a comforting thing to see. Like, oh,
if they can make this
house.
place, they can make a simulation of it up there as a transition.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Yeah,
you can't just go from like having a body and like getting juice in the morning and coffee to like floating around in like space. It's a little much.
Right. It's a nice transition. It's like here's a familiar place that's not jarring. It's like the world you know. But we're here and we're dead. And you're dead.
Can I ask you something? I think this is the last topic I think we'll talk about.
Okay.
But it's about
MK Ultra.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Tim Dillon loves that topic. I watched that podcast. It was very good. Not that. John Fetterman is mentally disabled and ran for Senate in Pennsylvania against Dr. Oz.
I don't know anything about politics.
No, it's fine. It's a greater generalization. Okay. John Fetterman cannot form coherent statements. His brain is messed up from a stroke. He literally said his first statement on the debates.
More than Biden?
His first statement at the debate stage against Dr. Oz was
he shook hands with the
good
flag.
Night, everybody. And then I was like, what is happening?
What?
It's bad. He beat Dr. Oz
for
a medical doctor.
Beloved, handsome,
great jaw,
handsome man.
Jaw, guys, ding, great jaw. He beat him handedly.
I don't know what Dr. Oz stands for politically.
Conservative,
but
maybe.
He's not extreme. He's not upsetting.
But the point I'm getting at with this example
is he anti-schmishmortian? Is that why?
He probably is. I think you have to be if you're running as a
Is he outspoken?
I think you have to be. It's a team element. When you're a Republican, you have to be anti-abortion.
That's all we want. That's all we want right now.
It might have actually hurt the Republicans in the
That's all we fucking
midterms.
Want.
But wait.
Schmishmortians.
We can talk about abortion, but wait. John Fetterman was voted in over Dr. Oz because Dr. Oz is Republican, not because John Fetterman is a good candidate.
Competent.
He shouldn't be.
Yeah, Dr. Oz is clearly very competent person.
Right, competent. Like actually can form cohesive thoughts in his head. Can articulate himself.
And he did Celebrity Rehab.
Wonderful show. Just
such a good
highbrow beyond. I mean, but that's the point. This country, it's so divided that there are people voting as a block to the Republican.
You know what? I bet Trump ruined it for reality TV politicians.
Well, they're not going to be another one after him.
Mentally unstable. We got Biden, and now.
But do you think that's a dangerous precedent in this country that people are voting, that they might vote Biden over anyone else because it's a Republican?
And he shook hands with the flag multiple times. Yeah, it's scary. What are we doing, guys?
That's that. Like you could be like pro-abortion, very liberal, green, purple hair, whatever the fuck. But you have to acknowledge that block vote is a dangerous precedent for this country. It's not normal.
I know.
You did it.
I don't feel good about it.
Because of the abortion thing.
Yeah.
Who did you vote for?
I don't know. I just did blue.
Oh, you just went down the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also going through a divorce, and I didn't have a lot of time to like give a shit about things. And I was like, what do I care about? Abortion, blue.
There it is.
And you know what?
It's fine.
I think it's unethical what I did. I think
you don't have to apologize.
I don't think it's right. I'm a very responsible voter. I mean, I would.
No, but wait.
I was anti-voting for my whole life until.
If you're so upset about Roe versus Wade being overturned, and that's meaningful to you, and you voted for Democrats straight down the line, that's fine.
I hate everybody. I hate fucking everybody. I fucking hate the whole fucking thing.
For you,
I don't want to vote. Every time I vote, I just like want to cry and punch the screen. Fuck everybody.
For you, the lesser two evils were the Democrats, which is fine.
It's a horrible way to live.
It is.
Fuck them all.
But I'm worried.
You know who I love? It's cutie man. That old
Meghan McCain.
That old, dear, sweet.
Joe Biden?
No.
The old guy from Poltergeist? Carol Ann.
I've never seen Poltergeist. I don't watch scary movies.
I know, but man, that guy's freaky. He wears a hat. He's very like almost kind of like a Christian Jew.
Was
in
he
a
the
way.
guy that was upstairs
He has
in your
his hat
room?
on. That's one of the thoughts I thought in my
A
head.
Christian Jew.
Because he has like a Hasidic hat on, and he's like,
With a
"Hi,
little
little girl.
box
What do you
on
like?" He actually, there's a great deep fake of Joe Biden's face as the creepy guy from Poltergeist, the old man, and it's perfect. It's like, "Would you like some candy, little girl?" And that's one of the things.
Is that when he's like whispering, like Joe Biden's like
he
whispering
he
in
like
that little
smells
girl's head?
everything. Like,
Oh.
oh god, he's so creepy.
Do you think he went to the island?
I think he was too old to go to the island. I think nothing works down there for him. So no pedophilia, creepy stuff.
We've got that. Vote for Biden. He probably can't
But Trump,
rape you.
Trump went to the island, and Trump doesn't like young girls. He likes like kind of like porn star looking girls, not like young girls. You know what I mean? Like big boobs.
You know who I feel bad for? Melania.
Do you know Melania was living in her mom's house in Maryland the entire time of the presidency? Like they were like basically separated. They only showed up together for like appearance purposes.
I thought she wouldn't move out of New York City because her son was going to school.
No,
then she ended up moving.
His son went to St. Andrews in Maryland. So right by DC. Yeah.
I feel so bad for her. All she wanted was to marry a rich guy, and she got humiliated in front of the entire world.
But do you know what kind of deal she's getting to stay like with him? She's got money from him.
I love when she won't hold his hand.
Oh yeah, she pulls away because he's
so cool.
Have
and
the
hot.
jacket she wore like I don't care. Do you remember?
Do you know what that was about? She got ripped to shreds.
What was it about?
It was about the fact that she was actually trying to like help kids and do normal first lady things and like help the kids in cages.
But why wear that jacket to the migrants?
It was about about her fashion choices. I saw this interview with her.
Like she doesn't care about her fashion?
Yeah, because they would only focus on her fashion and never care about any of the stuff she did.
But that's like wasn't that like a Balenciaga thing?
It's a dumb, obviously it wasn't clear. I don't know who made it. But she was trying to say she doesn't care about, stop talking about my clothes. You don't do this to any of the other first ladies. Because yeah.
It was a poor choice of jacket for that trip.
It really didn't work out the way she wanted it to.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. She's nice. She seems very nice.
She seems mean, and that's why she seems so cool.
I think Ivanka on their honeymoon in Aspen, but like some short time after their marriage, he said he wanted an open relationship literally right after they got married. It was really hard. Ivanka bought my dad's house on Palm Beach Island and turned it into
then they would have to fuck him less
for Mar-a-Lago. What?
Wait, I wasn't listening to anything you say.
Our house on Palm Beach, like when we were kids, my dad would get like, the pool and everything, the big house. My dad sold it to the Trumps as a guest house for the compound in Mar-a-Lago. So when rich people go down there and want to have their own house, they stay at our house.
What's your house?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. It's like a block away. So
wow.
Was that fun? Was it a good podcast?
Yeah, this was so much fun.
Do you want to plug anything before we go?
I do tarot readings. I teach meditation. I'm forming a nonprofit.
DominusMysteria.com.
DominusMysteria.com.
No hyphens or anything?
And Instagram is Dominus.Mysteria.
For me, you guys know, deplorar.com for merch, Patreon, Deplorables with Attitude, and I'll see you guys next week. It's good to be back. See ya.